You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. And ambassadors from the European Union's 27 countries are in huddle after US President Donald Trump vowed a wave of increasing tariffs on European allies until the United States is allowed to buy Greenland. EU ambassadors are going to convene an emergency meeting over the row. Trump said 10% tariffs would take effect on February 1st on imports from Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, Great Britain, the Netherlands and Finland. Tariffs may rise to 25% on June 1st and remaining in place until a deal is reached. European leaders criticized the move, backing Denmark and warning the tariff threat could undermine NATO and destabilize transatlantic ties. European countries said they were coordinating a response, while EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas said tariffs harm prosperity on both sides of the Atlantic. Meanwhile, protesters gathered in Nuuk to protest against Trump's plans for the US to take over the Danish autonomous territory.
What we want to use our energy on is just to live here, live with each other, live in peace in the country that we love and we respect. We know the Arctic, we know our country, and we are the ones to care for it. And it's been quite a big pressure from the whole world for us to take decision. We didn't never ask to have this situation. We never asked for this position we have right now, situation. So we just want to live in peace and quiet in our country. So we hope this pressure will be removed from us.
Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said that territorial integrity and sovereignty are fundamental principles of international law and essential for Europe and the global community. She emphasized Europe's commitment to Arctic security, NATO cooperation and full solidarity with Denmark and Greenland. And DD India's Akshay Dongre joins us from newsroom on the story. Hi Akshay, very good afternoon to you. Akshay, when we talk about the latest development in this entire matter, President Trump has imposed 10% tariffs on 8 European nations. What's the latest you are tracking on this?
Well, obviously there is a lot of anger as far as this tariff threat is concerned, because if you have to take into account the sort of alliance that has been fostered between these two sides, the USA and the European Union, it has been serving as a long-term agreement between the two sides to cooperate on these areas, to protect each other's sovereignty, to protect each other's territorial integrity, and respect each other's rules as far as their own territories are concerned. And the attack is directly on that bond that the two sides have shared for a very long time. In fact, since post World War II, these two sides have emerged as clearly the defenders of and what they have claimed, especially as the defenders of freedom of speech, defenders of other sort of territorial integrities of each other. NATO is essentially protecting each other's territorial integrity, and that these threats, these demands of buying or rather demands of taking over Greenland are clearly an attack on that very integrity that the two sides have maintained. And once the country of Denmark has clearly refused that they don't want to sell Greenland, even the Greenlanders have clearly stated that they do not want to be annexed to the United States of America. What we are seeing essentially is that a threat is being given by the US president of a 10% tariff starting 1st of February and then increasing it to 25% from 1st of January. And that is going to continue till the time an agreement is reached between the two sides to buy Greenland. So it is essentially a big jolt to the sort of alliance that the two sides have maintained, and that is why what we are seeing is France coming openly against the US, Swedish Prime Minister speaking against this threat of tariff, the UK Prime Minister So some of the closest allies as far as the NATO grouping are concerned are against each other now essentially. And what the European Union chief has said is that the kind of thaw that is there, the kind of bridge that has been created over the demand of buying Greenland is going to make both the sides poorer, and it is only Russia and China that are laughing at the entire situation. So it is an attack that is weakening both the sides. However, President Trump refused to believe this, and what essentially we are hearing from his side is that the resolve to buy Greenland is absolute in nature as far as the U.S. national security is concerned, considering the Golden Dome, as well as his claims that if the U.S. doesn't buy it, China and Russia will. So as far as the both sides in the Atlantic are concerned, the ridge is only going to deepen as the political instability and geopolitical instability rather deepens as far as the two sides are concerned over a piece of territory that is in fact a territory that is owned by Denmark for several centuries now.
Definitely. And US has already said, Akshay, that Greenland is very important to them because of the security reasons. Apart from that, like you've said, that people there in the Greenland are not liking it actually, and it also might have an impact on NATO, isn't it, Akshay? How do you?
Well, obviously, Siddharth, as far as the sovereignty of the people of Greenland are concerned, their wishes trumps everything else. It is what the people of Greenland want, and they have clearly stated that they want to stay with Denmark, they want to stay with the European Union, and they don't want to be annexed to the United States. No amount of money or threat or luring is going to change that as far as near future is concerned, and something that we have seen in the last few months since the demands have increased to buy Greenland. However, the question also remains that if both the sides, both Denmark and US are part of NATO, both see attack on each other as attack on themselves, then what is the need to buy Greenland to protect it from China and Russia? Anyway, it is part of if it is part of a territory of your ally as far as NATO is concerned. So the entire point of buying it just to protect their own country is a big question mark there as far as the alliance is concerned. And it seems that Donald Trump, as he has earlier tried to undermine the NATO, it seems that his trust from the organization has completely eroded, and what he needs right now is to act in a partisan manner, act in an individualistic manner to protect the country and annex territory like it used to happen during the colonial times.
Okay, Akshay, this is developing and we'll keep taking updates from you on this, and thank you so much as of now.
Thank you.
We'll leave there.